You know, this man and this woman, right at the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Cancerini, are going to play such a big role in your life, because this man and this woman at the beginning of this week, you're going to come across, you're going to kind of look at, you're going to listen to. This particular man and a woman are going to inspire you so much to start with, to speed up with something, to speed up with some kind of process in your own life. And that in itself is going to start this moment in time where you are, without even realizing, going to have your turning point, my gorgeous Cancerini. So at the moment in time you become so inspired by this man and this woman right at the beginning of this week. It's a lot to do with what they are doing, what they have done, how they live their lives, you know, and what they enjoy when it comes to their lives. There is something that is going to inspire you so much. You're gonna feel something so deep within, okay? And that in itself, it's to start with going to really make you aware of the fact how much you want to speed up the certain process of something, you know, that became kind of rather stale. But then at the same time, this is going to become your turning point, and you are gonna feel very strongly, like shortly after that moment in time, you're gonna feel so inspired, and you are really kind of gonna feel how much you're gonna feel how much you want to start something new. And this is brilliant, and this is going to start something really deep within, because this in itself is going to really kind of bring this vision into your life, okay? And this vision that you're going to have, you know, or shall I say, that's why you're going to have this vision, which will be ever so powerful, especially when it comes to you implementing it. So this vision that you're going to have, it's so important to mention and to understand that this is pretty much so to do with you kind of like a changing so much, you know, about your life. But at the same time, it's a lot to do with your soul purpose. So this is going to be felt on a very deep and emotional and a spiritual level as well. So it's like, oh my God. So these two people, this man and a woman, are gonna start all this. And this is what it happens when we feel such a strong and powerful connection, when we talk to people who we feel we have so much in common with, especially when it comes to the certain lifestyle, especially when it comes to like the certain energy, how these people are. There are so many ways to connect to somebody, but this is going to be on a very personal level indeed. And what else I was going to say, my gorgeous Cancerini, that in itself, you know, it's going to make you feel so, you know, enthusiastic almost immediately as soon as you become aware of this vision, as soon as you have this vision. And this vision, it's all going to be about, you know, how you want your life to be, you know, and this is gonna be a completely kind of connected to a lot to your quality of life as well. There are certain things that you are going to become aware of, like through this man and through this woman and all this inspiration. There are a few different things that you're gonna become aware of that you will want to bring into your life, but also a few things that you're gonna become aware of that are gonna open your eyes towards some kind of problems that you've been dealing with, you know, yourself for a while. And this is where you're gonna find even deeper connection with you and these two people as well. This is absolutely brilliant, because I'm telling you, this in itself, it's gonna make you feel so enthusiastic when you have this vision how you want your life to be. You know, this is gonna happen like pretty much so like in the morning. It's gonna happen in the morning as soon as you wake up. Like this is how exactly you're gonna feel. You're gonna have something on your mind. So first of all, you're gonna be inspired by these two people, and then to speed something up, and that is going to in turn into this big turning point where you're going to understand and you will really want to engage with something new. And this is going to naturally push you towards this mind-blowing vision that you are going to have, this mind-blowing vision about your life, and you're not going to be able to detach yourself from that. And there is a very special reason for it, because this in itself, it's a lot to do with exactly what is missing in your life. You will know that this is exactly what you need to do, but it's more about your soul call. And this in itself, it's really gonna, you will know as soon as you have this vision, you're gonna feel so enthusiastic about it. But at the same time, you know, this is kind of like are going to make you so like well established as well. This is going to make you well established, this vision, you know. And at the same time, this is bringing you peace of mind, especially when it comes to many other things too. You will learn how resilient you are as well, and this is ever so important indeed. And also, my gorgeous Cancerini, please, for the love of God, pay attention to this dream that you are going to have at around the beginning of this week. This dream that you are going to have, it's going to be so unusual and so strange, and it's not going to make sense whatsoever, but it is going to be extremely vivid. What you're going to notice about that dream, the only thing that you're going to be able to understand to start with, is this particular person, and you will not know who this particular person is, and then it's just going to come to you. It's going to come to you that this particular person that appeared in your dream in a very unusual and rather vivid dream, this particular person, it's actually representing somebody who used to be in your life and somebody who died. It's representing this spirit. This spirit came in a slightly different form visually, especially when it comes to your dream. And you will know this, you will understand this. First of all, this dream is not going to make sense whatsoever, but it's going to be on your mind persistently, because it's going to be so vivid, and you're going to realize that you haven't had such a vivid dreams in absolutely ages. And there is a reason for it, because you've gone through something very emotional and very difficult, something that you've been dealing with for quite a long time now. So this is why you're coming out of the darkness, you're coming out of yourself, where things are going to become very spiritual in terms of your visions and in terms of your understanding and in terms of your spirituality. You are about to enter a very powerful dimension, and this is because you've been through something very difficult emotionally that was affecting you for way too long. The more this was affecting you, the more spiritual, the more psychic, and the more insight you are going to have and you're going to feel. And this is why this is going to be so important. So that vivid dream that you are going to have at the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Cancerini, so the only thing you're going to remember is like, oh my God, this person, I don't know who this person is. And then suddenly you're going to realize who this person in your dream is representing. Somebody who was in your life, somebody who was alive, and that person obviously died, and now the spirit came in a slightly different form. And you're only going to realize this just because suddenly, I told you it's going to be very vivid, suddenly, you know, you're going to realize maybe a watch or a chain or a t-shirt or a shirt or a trousers or something that person is wearing. You're going to realize, or a hair, maybe it's the same like that person who died, who used to be in your life, maybe your relative, maybe your friend, but somebody who you were extremely connected to. So you will see that something what that person is wearing, or something that person has, or something that person is doing, just suddenly it's going to come to you. Oh my God, this is Michael. Oh my God, this is John. Oh my God, this is Mary. Oh my God, this is Lydia. Oh my God, this is Marina. Oh my God, this is Jane. Oh my God, this is Mark. You know, it's just literally going to come to you who this is. And at that moment in time, when it comes to you who this was in your dream, at that moment in time, you also need to understand that there is something, some kind of a negative energy that you have to release as well. That person, that spirit, spirit came in your dream only to let you know that you are blocking yourself from achieving something really huge, something really great, and you're blocking yourself with your fears, and you're not going to realize that straight away, but later on you will be able to connect the dots. You will see 2 and 2 is 4. You know what I mean? You will be able to connect the dots, and you will realize that before you realize who this was in your dream, you were still thinking negatively about some kind of aspect of your life that you should dive in like almost immediately. So this is what the message is going to be, and this is the message that this spirit is bringing you, to be open-minded about something that you need to be open-minded about, because you are the only one who can do something about it. So you are standing in your own way with something, and the spirit wants you to pay attention to what this is and work out what this is. So you will not know at that moment in time, but as soon as you become aware of who this spirit is, you know, at that moment in time, you are suddenly gonna have this on your mind also. You're suddenly gonna have a glimpse of like, oh my God, suddenly you realize, oh my God, this is Michael, oh my God, this is John, and then, oh my God, suddenly you're gonna get a glimpse of like what you were thinking about negatively, but you're not gonna be able to kind of understand straight away. But then later on, you're gonna realize, oh my God, this is what spirit was trying to tell me, to be open-minded about it and to go forward, you know. So you're slowing yourself down with something, you know, that you really should be just kind of plunging in like almost immediately indeed. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Cancerini, by the time you come to the mid part of this week, I like this so much because somebody very close to yours, like a family member or a friend, are going to do something beautiful for you, but they're also like kind of going to say what an important role. Someone is going to say to you what an important role you're actually playing in their lives, and this is going to make you feel oh so nice, and you're going to like this so much. So the bottom line is that you are really going to feel very loved and supported, you know, when it comes to the mid part of this week, and that in itself, it's going to make you feel very happy. And it's kind of going to enhance your emotional and spiritual fulfillment as well. And that in itself, it's really kind of going to fill you with this wonderful energy, which is going to elevate you to the point where you are going to get a different perspective on a different perspective on what you should kind of pause, what you should delay, and what you should wait, you know, when it comes to your life. But most importantly, through those people in your life that you're going to feel so loved and supported by, you're actually going to understand what voluntary sacrifice do you need to make. What voluntary sacrifice do you need to make? By making this voluntary sacrifice, you're also one step closer to an ultimate achievement in your life, but also at the same time one step closer to those people in your life that you want to spend the more time with as well. But you need to be quick, you need to be bold, you need to be very, very quick indeed when you do this, because the bottom line is that you are going to find something really, really challenging here. And now when you find this challenging, this is why the quicker you are with this voluntary sacrifice, the less of a challenge this is going to be. The more time you take when it comes to this voluntary sacrifice, then the bigger challenge this is going to become. So this is why you need to be really quick when it comes to this indeed, because this is actually, you know what I find really fascinating about all this, that it's going to start with a voluntary sacrifice that you're going to find really challenging, but it's actually bringing you a surprising achievement already in 7 weeks time. Already in exactly 7 weeks time after that moment in time, you are going to have a surprising achievement in life, and otherwise you wouldn't have. And that surprising achievement is gonna, oh my God, it's gonna throw you out of balance in a really good way, baby. But it's most importantly going to actually make you aware of the fact that you can actually transform some kind of idea into reality. And this is why this is going to be so important. You're gonna realize how clever you are, and also you're gonna kind of like become aware of some kind of a sacred knowledge. At around that time, you're also going to become aware of some kind of a sacred knowledge, something that it's very kind of crazy, and it's almost like a difficult to believe, something that you are gonna hear about, maybe certain things going on the outside, not with your life in general, with your personal life, something which is going to be very difficult to believe, but from the very trusting sources, you're gonna have this really kind of like a weird and horrible information. But it's not about your life, and it's not about the life of people in your life, but it's to do with something on the outside. But this source that you're going to get from, it's absolutely 1000% trustworthy. So it is like a very strange and unusual and bizarre information that you're gonna become aware of, and you really should share this information with those people in your life. It doesn't matter whether they understand this, or it doesn't matter whether they don't understand this. This is your spiritual duty. Even if they say, oh my God, you're cuckoo, you're crazy, that's absolutely fine. I'm absolutely used to people telling me this. It doesn't really affect me whatsoever. So in fact, I just find it as a compliment actually nowadays, because I'm allowing myself to be myself, so I don't really care. But this is important. You need to share this knowledge. You need to share this knowledge. Your spiritual duty is to share this knowledge, where you're going to find out, because in between the lines, it's more about about people knowing this, and people knowing what not to do, and people knowing what to do and what not to do, and what to avoid also, most importantly, for example. So this is why you need to share this knowledge. And also, basically, what else I was going to say, and when I say that you are going to have this surprising achievement, when I say that you're going to have in 7 weeks like a surprising achievement, where that in itself, it also means that you have to, this is the time, as soon as you become aware of the fact that then you're going to become aware of the fact that you want to transform certain idea into reality. And now when it happens to that, when it comes to this time, in 7 weeks time, I know I've gone to the 7 weeks time, but I'm sorry, it's information I want to say. In 7 weeks time, after this moment in time, you will know that there is a really big connection when you become aware of this surprising achievement, and you are going to become aware of the fact that now it's time to transform some kind of idea, important idea, into reality. It's important to mention to be objective. By being objective, when it comes to this, you're going to release negative and frightening thoughts. Okay, so this is important, and this is what I was going to mention. By the time you get to the last part of this week, it's about a bit of a bickering, and it's about a bit of a conflict, and it's about a bit of a disagreement with someone. It's nothing huge, it's nothing horrible, it's nothing major, but there is going to be some some kind of disagreement, some kind of argument, some kind of a conflict with someone, and through that conflict you are going to really kind of realize two things. One thing you're going to realize is how emotionally mature and balanced you actually are, which you are, my gorgeous Cancerini. And the second thing you're going to realize, you're going to hear some cold, hard truth, something that you're not going to like, something about yourself, but something that you need to know, and you're not going to like it because you will know that this is the truth. And now that cold, hard truth, first about yourself, someone is going to tell you something about yourself that you're not going to like, and the only reason why you're not going to like this, it's only because it's the truth. And now that in itself is going to shake your world a little bit, that in itself is going to rock your world a little bit to start with, and you are going to feel a little bit pissed off and upset when that person says this to you. But you know what, like a couple of days later, you are actually going to feel really grateful, because that cold, hard truth, it's really going to help you to open yourself up and understand why did you have a creative block, because that cold, hard truth is going to make you aware of the fact that you were distracted by something new not that long ago, and what you were distracted about and what you were distracted by made you being unable to commit, and made you like kind of being unable to commit, and then you just kind of focused on impractical things, which is, I'm not having a go at you, haven't done absolutely anything wrong. I'm just talking to you about this wonderful unfoldment that you are going to have. So first of all, it's going to be conflict, argument, and then you're going to realize how emotionally mature and balanced you are, just the way you're going to respond, because you weren't mentally prepared for this. But then again, it's all about hearing this cold, hard truth. So only a couple of days later, you're going to realize, oh my God, I'm grateful to God. They've been honest with me completely, and this is exactly what I needed to hear. Cold, hard truth, which is a couple of days later going to make you aware of exactly why did you have a creative block for so long, because you were distracted by something new and not that long ago that made you being unable to commit, and it was kind of like made things impractical for you. But now you're going to realize that was impractical because it wasn't meant for you. So the good news is that now this is coming to an end. Something that you've been distracted by, something that had a really short life, you know, which is brilliant. Thank God for that. So it's all about you understanding and realizing that now it's all about making like that final push that you need to make in order to walk away from what you have been distracted by, because now you're going to realize that this is not something that you can commit to whatsoever, and it's impractical, and this is enough of signs for you to know and understand that this is something that you need to move on indeed. And also, my gorgeous Cancerini, what I absolutely love here, you know, basically it's like someone, it's really going to also like kind of inspire you at around the last part of this week. Another inspiration here, and this is brilliant. Someone is going to inspire you you know, to have this like creative achievement again. This is brilliant. Someone at the end of the week is again going to inspire you to have this creative achievement. But then when it comes to this is not going to happen unless you keep things traditional. So when it comes to the end of the week, I know this may be a little bit confusing, I'm sorry, but when it comes to the end of this week, someone else is going to inspire you when it comes to like having this creative achievement. But the only way for you to achieve this is to keep things traditional indeed, and that in itself, it's really going to put you on a path where you're going to be thinking about this new project, new venture. But you have to act now. You must act now indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Cancerini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.